So welcome to the show. Pre-show jibber jabber. I'm Alfonso. Meghan, thank you. This is the first time you're on.
Yes.
Meghan Rothschild of Chick Media. And the lovely, no sailor, no costume, very simple Cori today.
Blah. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. Simple Cori's always.
Simple works.
Yeah. She read the topic, so hopefully things will be going good today. Fingers crossed. All right, so let's go over some of the topics. One of the first ones, the Greater Springfield Convention Visitors Bureau traveled to Long Island to promote the region to bus tours. So basically, like Peter Pan kind of companies, but down in Long Island, which I think is great because obviously we live in an area. There's a lot of history. We actually have a lot of great. Between the Hall of Fame, Yankee Candle, Six Flags. We have a lot of different, contributions to making this a tourist kind of.
Right.
Outside of the casino talk, let's not even talk about the casino.
I think this was maybe a little sparked by that. I wonder if it
absolutely, but I think it's people are realizing it because of the casino that this actually is a lot to do.
It always surprises me, anyways, because I used to work at Six Flags, and it just was always surprising that there wasn't more of a tourist attraction draw because of the Basketball Hall of Fame and Six Flags, and how do we capitalize on that? So I think this is great, and it's moving in the right direction.
Yeah. That's it?
No,
Sorry. Right under the bus.
We're trying to move along topics. I don't know when to jump in anymore. No, the Yankee Candle has you can spend the whole day there. I think but they mentioned the Butterfly Museum.
Butterfly Museum, Biggie, Mass Mocha, Susan B. Anthony Birthplace Museum.
Problem is those are kind of so spread out.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it hard. It's not like Boston or New York where it's a concentrated area.
Right. And you just walk. Yeah. You're driving an hour or an hour and a half to each of these things.
Yeah, and for the most part, I think if people come, like Springfield gets really packed even from the Big E because the hotels get so busy that people overflow into Springfield.
Right.
And there's a lot of other. What are some think of any good places people, if you're not from Western Mass, where they should go?
In Western Mass?
Yeah. The Elbow Room? No. The local dive bar.
Places like BBC, I don't think get enough credit.
BBC.
Free tours and things like that.
There's a lot of local
wineries too.
Yeah.
Tons of them. They should do a whole winery tour.
Right, yeah.
There should be
if you're a winery in Western Mass, invite us. We'd be happy to come taste it for you. And, just,
put a little package together for you.
But I think it is a good idea to just bring more tourism into our area because there is so much great stuff to offer. And some of these places are probably free admission too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next up, so there's students from Western New England University are doing a survey or seeking community input of wanting to put a restaurant inside Forest Park. So this will be the first restaurant in Forest Park. Am I making that? Is that a correct statement?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Besides the estate,
Right.
Yeah, which is catering, weddings, things like that.
Events.
So they were releasing a survey, 37 questions. It only took about 15-20 minutes, but according to the bid in Springfield, their Facebook post, it was what kind of restaurants, how often, who would you go to restaurants with? So they're asking kind of good questions of not what kind of food, but who do you go with, how often do you go out to eat? Kind of regular good questions for restaurants. Did you guys look at the survey?
Not specifically.
I tried to, and I think there was something down with it. But I think this really excited me. But who are you going to get to take that risk to go in there?
Yeah.
That's a risk.
It is a risk because you think of seasonally, the winner is going to be shot. Unless they,
Bright Nights, they're going to have to do some sort of tie-in with that.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you have the zoo, because I'm on the board at Forest Park Zoo, and how is that, is there a way to tie those things in? That actually might be good for the zoo, because it might bring more people in, but because of that area being so notoriously bad in terms of safety, I feel like there's been some safety concerns with Forest Park, so I think it would be a risk, but I think it's cool. Definitely.
I could see it being a restaurant that's just a regular bar and grill, whatever, but also having an outdoor patio so people can actually sit outside.
That's what I'm visualizing, something that's mobile, maybe, because I can assume it would be a huge investment, especially if it's going to be a year-round business. I think it'd be great to tap into the Bright Nights business because there really isn't anything. You get people come far and wide to come to Bright Nights, and then you get done, and then now what?
Right.
So it'd be great to have something to go to. I know that the area isn't the safest, but I'll take the dog and we go run, and I don't feel unsafe when I'm in the park per se.
Just when you're on Sumner?
Yeah.
Just kidding, I love
It's
Springfield.
definitely a tough area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, let's see, we'll tag Winnick on this and see if they'll let us know what happened with the survey.
Yeah.
Next up, Williams College pays they paid $86,000 to settle a tip lawsuit. So Williams College, they agreed to pay a dozen servers, wait staff, and bartenders the school employed to cater off-campus and non-college events. So basically, they hired the college kids to work and didn't pay them.
Or they took their.
Or they didn't pay them out
something.
they didn't pay out the tips.
Their 15% was built in, and they didn't pay them out.
Yeah. So.
Do you think that was intentional?
I don't know. A little drama.
Seems like a long period of time for them to just have an oops. Like,
Yeah, I feel like, but I don't know. It could be someone could have been responsible for that part of it and just did it a certain way over and over again, not realizing.
Right, and
I don't know.
said-
That's And
I mean,
why didn't the servers catch it sooner?
Yeah, I don't
You know?
know.
Yeah,
'Cause
how
it wasn't
long-
part of their
Did they say how long they went? Oh, so December 2009.
It was a while. Yeah, I mean, $86,000.
Oh wow. Well, that's so it was. But if it was saying a dozen students, so 12 students.
Yep.
Worked for 3 years and didn't get paid. It
didn't get paid. Like there was like a 15% service charge built into the contracts
And they
that they never received. So they did get paid. They just didn't get paid. Right? Is that
right?
What
It sounds like they
understanding?
got paid hourly, and they
And
didn't
then-
get the
They didn't
additional
get the
tips.
additional tips paid out. So.
Oh, that's,
And they may have not known that, because sometimes you go to events and you're able to tip the servers yourself. It's not always built into
Yeah.
the terms of the agreement. So maybe they were getting additional tips and they didn't think to raise their hand to say, what about
Right.
from Williams?
I'd
So
love to know what each one was
Well, I
getting.
mean-
Can you imagine the payday on that?
they're
Woo!
paying, especially some of them after college will have work right
yeah,
now. It's
a
like
lot of a job, but
yeah, but some of them might be getting like $6,000. They said.
Yeah.
well, I mean, Williams is saying they didn't do anything illegal
Right.
or any wrongdoing, but they paid it. So obviously they know there's something
They've
wrong.
acknowledged that they've done something wrong.
So, well, kudos for forking over the money and the dinner tab.
And congrats on
forking it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I try, you know. Next up, Walmart sues Visa for $5 billion over swipe fees. So I feel like there's a lot of topics. I think more in a small business where I hear a lot of business owners talking like the absurd amount of fees that they're paying. You know, my parents, aunt, uncle own pizza shops, and they're paying. Some of them are paying up to $900 a month in just credit card fees
Yeah.
for a mom and pop shop. Like
Right.
it's ridiculous. So Walmart is suing them for conspiring the banks to fix prices on the processing fees retailers are charged. So it's kind of nice to see a big giant sue another giant to like
Right.
see like this is wrong. So I mean, I hopefully something comes out that benefits the smaller businesses that are affected by it.
Right, I was just gonna say, I mean, it is great to see that, but it is Walmart, and you know how can this benefit the smaller business? Like, how is this? Because they're suing them for obviously damages against their own company, but is this going to raise enough awareness for the smaller organizations that maybe there'll be some fixing of those fees? Because you know, when Walmart sues for billions of dollars,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
I'd rather see people like
Right.
your parents be able to get some of these
Something,
fees.
yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm hoping that comes out of this. But I mean, I'm sure this is not going to be a quick, easy.
And don't a lot of people not even accept certain credit cards because of the fees, like American Express?
Oh,
I know
yeah.
is like
It's like
not accepted
you're lucky,
widely.
yeah, exactly.
So.
Which is funny. It's always accepted overseas, but it's not accepted in state. So
I
it's
know.
like
That's because their fees are so exorbitant, so a lot of
Oh.
small businesses just can't afford to do it.
It will be interesting to see the trickle-down effect, and you know, a lot of businesses do offer some sort of terms. I know the company I work for, we're striving to try to get customers to become a terms customer rather than a credit card, but nowadays everybody's using their cards to make small
Right.
purchases.
Yeah.
I guess they're saying Target and Amazon are also involved with the lawsuit, but it's spearheaded by Walmart, so
Yes.
so it's not just Walmart. that makes it really interesting then.
I know.
I'm just learning this
I
topic.
love the word like conspiracies.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we're going to get everyone with their theories popping
There's
up.
going to be a documentary coming out in a few years about
I just
it.
hope the fees don't start coming down to the
Right.
end user.
Right.
Well, I
You know,
mean, so all these fees, so if you don't know where they're talking about where these fees are, when you're using a credit card, they're saying $5 cash back, 10% back when you spend at restaurants. You're getting that, but then that gets charged to the restaurant.
Right.
So a lot of the fees, they're not just like being swipe fees, they're actually fees of everyday use that they're promoting, the cards are promoting, you're going to get 5% back, you're going to get this, but that actually comes from the restaurants
Right.
paying for it.
Right.
So those are the fees, a little education for you if you didn't know. Lastly, pick this one for Cori.
yeah.
I love this one.
But this was really, really cool, and I love seeing really different kind of resumes. But there's a student who used a Lego to build their resume. So the resume isn't a logo, but they actually built Lego pieces.
Yeah.
Repositioned and I'll put it up so you guys can see the photo, and just pretty much photoshopped Adobe something out of it, and just made this really cool resume.
Yeah. And they made a little box.
It came with everything,
poster.
instruction manual, like,
Yes.
it was just like, I wish employees and interns came with an instruction manual.
I love this girl. The only thing that disappointed me about the article is it didn't say if she got the job or not.
Yeah, Mashable, tell us if she got the job, update the article.
I want to hire her. I mean, that's cool. That's really
Yeah.
creative.
I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to
definitely.
afford someone like that.
Yeah, she's a little too creative.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're great, you make it better than
Scary,
me.
yeah.
We'll invite you over on a Saturday afternoon to play with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I thought that was really clever. I mean, think about, I was telling you this, I just did a career panel at my former college where I attended school, and it's so hard nowadays to get noticed and how do you make your resume stand out. And I'm sorry, but that would get me to pay attention.
Yeah.
Right? I would really be like, oh, okay, this girl really wants this job.
I had someone apply, Emily, who works for me now, she applied, her resume was an infographic.
It's awesome.
And I mean, she sent me a regular
Yeah.
PDF
Right.
resume, but like,
Something
it was
so
just like,
unconventional.
I was just looking at it, I was like, oh, I didn't even meet her, and I'm like, all right, well, she's hired in my
Yeah.
book, all
Right,
right,
yeah.
that's different, and
It's definitely a hard, exactly what you're saying. How do you differentiate yourself on paper
yeah,
without being right there face to face?
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, if you're looking for a tip, I would say maybe even sending like a fun video or something. Like I had an
To
intern that
resume.
applied, and he sent me he was a YouTube teener person that posted videos, and he sent me the link, and I'm like, well, that's good, because now he knows how to use YouTube.
It's a step
and-
above the rest.
Yeah,
you know, in
and
some
that's what
way.
you want to see, is like, how are you different from, why would I just bring anyone on? What makes you different?
Kudos
So,
to her.
yeah, and if you see this by any random chance, let us know if you got a job out
Yeah.
of it. Well, that's all we have. We'll be right back with Laura from Leadership Pioneer Valley, where we'll learn a little bit more. She actually was on the show years ago, and we'll learn what's changed in the last 3 years. Megan, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And And welcome. I am Alfonso Santaniello. I am here with Lora Wondolowski of Leadership Pioneer Valley. Laura, it's been a long time since you've been on.
I
Back
know.
in the days of Open Square Studio, and there's a lot of work behind us. And
Back
You're-
before you were so amazing and huge.
oh, I'm not that huge. What do you think?
You've been working out.
A little bit. No. Well, thank you for coming on. A lot's changed in 3 years. You know, when we first talked, you were in your first year of Leadership Pioneer Valley.
That's
and
right,
you're
that's
in
right.
your third year now. So what's changed from year 1 to year 3? What's the biggest thing you've learned? What's the difference between, you know, I was in year 2, so our class was awesome. I know that.
Yeah, well, we had to fix a lot from your class.
We did.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that makes it interesting and exciting for me is we get such great evaluations and really look at each class and what we're doing well and what are the things we need to work on, and we make tweaks throughout the program. So, I mean, it could be little things like in our first year we learned that when our project teams, we gave them time to meet, that late afternoon they were totally burnt out, they didn't want to meet. So we moved it to first thing in the morning, and that made everybody happy. But there's also more substantial changes, obviously. This year we have a really great new curriculum, which I'm really excited about. It's called Positive Leadership. It was developed by someone with a community leadership development program in Tulsa, Oklahoma, of all places. But they, like us, were finding that they wanted something that would be a thread that would tie through the program and really weave from session to session so that you would have something that kind of holds it all together. And it's a really terrific curriculum. It's based on an ebook. We send our participants one chapter each month, and then we do, you know, half an hour or hour of just dialogue, and it's more of a discussion-based curriculum and not I know everything and you're learning something from me. And it's really accessible, and we're finding that people are taking it back to the workplace and using it with their teams. They're using it in the community organizations they're involved with, and really taking some of the exercises and pieces and using it, and that's what we want to see.
So for the people that are, you know, new to the show or maybe new to hearing LPV, you keep talking about curriculum and the day. You know, I was through the part of the program and we met monthly, but maybe explain like what the what was like on a regular basis for like the participants that to go through.
Absolutely.
You know, what are the, if you're applying for it, and what can they expect?
Sure. So we're a 10-month leadership development program that focuses on the region. We meet with everybody one full day a month, and I mean a full day. It's, you know, 9 to 5 or 8:30 to 5:30.
It's fun most of the time.
And we keep you busy.
There's no sleeping.
Except when you know. You
Nap time.
We let you have a bathroom break for
That's,
like.
yeah.
But it's an intense day, but it's also a lot of fun. Half of the days are seminar style, where we're focusing on leadership skills. We get these really great facilitators and trainers from throughout the valley, you know, focusing on things like communication skills, negotiation, how do you get other people engaged in what you're working on, diversity and how to be an inclusive leader. Other half of the days are field trip days.
Those are my favorite.
We're on buses, we're meeting local leaders, we're doing panel discussions, we're doing tours of local businesses, a variety of places to really understand what's happening in the valley, so that you really get a 360 view. And then the other piece of the curriculum are team projects. And this year, one of the new features, we've reached out to hundreds of nonprofits in the region and asked for project proposals. We winnowed that down to 12, and then each person in the program, so each year we take about 40 people to be in the program. They are then assigned to a team of 6 to 9 others, and then each team picks their top project. And that's the thing they're going to be working with.
What are some of the projects this year that some are working on?
Well, we've got 3 that are continuing on from past years, which is really
Next
cool.
Generation Pioneers.
Which was a first-year project. So
Yeah,
it's 3
so
years in a
that's-
row, we have a team working on attracting and retaining young professionals, which I know is a passion for Alfonso, but a really important issue for the Valley. You know, you look at the number of students that graduate every year and leave, and the number of people that I hear, well, I can't build my career here, I have to go to Boston, or I have to go to Atlanta, or wherever. So that's one issue. We have another group looking at some of the regional history and how do we get people out and about in the Valley and seeing the connections between Springfield and Deerfield,
nice.
for example. We have a group working with a youth organization, develop a curriculum of leadership for young people. So they're going to do some workshops for young people in the Amherst and Barry, and I'm trying to think some of the other Ware kind of Quabbin area. So that's a new thing. We have another team that's working with a group called Peace Jam. Peace Jam grew out of working with Peace Nobel laureates, and the idea that they can be an inspiration for young people to do positive actions in their communities and really take the inspiration from these folks who, you know, dedicated their lives to peace and how can we use that to learn some leadership skills. So they're, I think, putting together, we'll have to see a one-day youth, what do they call it, jam slam?
Nice.
So yeah, some really interesting projects, and kind of a range of stuff. So, you know, we're looking at how do you take some of the classroom skills and utilize them in an experiential way to strengthen the learning and actually make a difference.
So as we're closing up, one of the biggest things in each year when you introduce a new class and you're announcing after the program how people have progressed in their professional lives. Do you want to throw a couple stats of how many people have changed since graduating LPV?
Absolutely. This is like what has astounded me, and we work with an evaluation firm to do the stats for us. More than 50% of our graduates have gotten promotions or job increases within the year that they've been in the program. 58% have joined a board of directors.
Wow.
And so they're giving back and making a difference in the community. You know, 70% say that they increased their cultural competency. About a third started a new community project as a result of being in LPV. And then, you know, in terms of leadership skills, we're seeing people increased confidence, increased ability to lead a group, increased, you know, all kinds of different skills that we're looking at. So, you know, it's both getting folks on the career path that they want to be in, but also getting the community engagement that we'd like to see.
So for the people that you know, are sold after, you know, they want to get more involved and they want to become more confident and they want to become a better leader, what is the website they can get more information?
It's www.leadershippv, as in pioneervalley.org. Our applications will be live next month, so you can apply online, and the application deadline will be July 1st, and if that falls on a weekend, then we'll give you till Monday. But it's something that, you know, you should talk to your employers about if you're interested, and I'm sure you can contact me for more if you have any other questions.
Laura, thank you so much for coming on.